Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to try and explain how I made this scene, which I originally called Industrial Hole. And a huge disclaimer here, my workflow is heavily inspired, I guess you could say, by Max Hay, the Blender King, in my opinion. And I take a lot of techniques and a lot of tips from him. So, I mean, if you want to hear from the master, you can just go to his channel. But I thought I'd, make an attempt at a tutorial. Some people have been asking me to do that, mainly on TikTok, but whatever, So for this one, it looks pretty messy, and it is, but a lot of these objects are copied. They're duplicates. So I think these walls it's just this. A bunch of blocks, basically. It's a block, basically. That's all I can say. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, what is this? It's just kind of an industrial wall. It doesn't even have a name. It's called a cube. But yeah, that's what it is. This is what it looks like. And the material, I'll talk about textures later, but it has this kind of concrete texture, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, no, it's actually a PBR texture. Okay, I thought it was just like an image, but it's more than that. And then yeah, I used that to like block out the walls, the roof. Some are scaled a bit more. But I think they're all the same pretty much. Maybe, this is the same, it's just wider. So that's the main thing. I also have this other element, I guess you could call it. It's also just, funny shape, I guess. Gives some more, some texture to the scene, I guess. Don't know what it is. It looks weird, but, that's fine. It doesn't have to make sense, That's the fun part of art. Like, we're not engineers, we're just making stuff, And then there's pipes. And that's also, okay, so I made like this one first. This basic shape, like anybody can do this. And then just made some variations, like one's thin and tall, one's a bit thicker, one's longer. Stuff like that, and then I combine those versions or those little variants into this thing, and that's pretty much what's like scattered around the scene in different locations, like up there, there. And also you see this wall, it's like on the ground as well, which, that doesn't make sense, like I said, but it doesn't have to. But there's a bunch of pipes. Then there's this scaffolding type thing, which I made for another project. But, yeah, you can get scaffolding. This thing isn't even, I think this is, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about if this is how scaffolding actually looks in real life, or like how this kind of structure looks. But whatever. It looks like scaffolding, I think I modeled like a little piece of this, then, put an array modifier. It's not here because I've applied it, but, copied 4 copies, and that's it pretty much. And then, yeah, that's a couple of times here in the scene. And yeah, then some wires. That's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure it's an add-on called something. I think it might be like more geometry or extra meshes or something. No, it's not in here. No, wait, curves, knots, catenary. So then you pick 2 objects, Shift A. I should probably use screencast keys. Oh yeah, we got screencast keys. Anyway, curve, knots, catenary. I need 2 objects, and the catenary will connect between the origins of these. So like that, and then you can like do some stuff, you know, edit it, add a bevel, make it thick, change the resolution. Oh wow, that's very high resolution. Yeah, so stuff like that. Should probably find out what the actual, yeah, extra objects. Add curve extra objects. That's what it is. And landscape. Yeah, cool. Let's delete that. We don't want that thick boy anymore. Yeah, and then there's some extra stuff like these poles or like antenna things. You know, you can just make random stuff and put it around the scene. Like nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, what's that? That doesn't make sense. And if they do, like, who cares, you know? Just put stuff where it looks cool, basically. That's the motto. Then this is my friend, 3D scanned, using a 3D scan app. I'll put it on the screen. I can't find it right now. But basically, that's pretty cool if you want just cool like characters, and you can tell your friend to pose like whatever, and you have a 3D model. Basically, I mean the textures look kind of. I made this guy black, completely black, and it looks kind of screwed up for some reason. Like there's holes in him, but that doesn't show up in the render view for some reason. But yeah, that was just to hide the textures that came along with the 3D scanning. And then there's the car. So I guess that would be a completely other tutorial, just how to model a car. And there's, you know, there's a billion tutorials on that, how to model a car in Blender. This is a bad model. Like, look at it. This looks pretty bad, and that's fine because the scene in the end is so dark. Like this is not showing. I just wanted like the shape of a car, and it consists of like this main body, like a roof, windows, the wheels I made just for a different project, or just as their own project because I was bored. But yeah, you can just download a model if you want as well. You can use Blender Kit. I think they have some models, you know, just Google car or search for car. Blender Kit, there's free models. Press here, free first. You get some good ones. You can put a NYPD car. Why not, you know, New York. The city of dreams, the city that never sleeps, or whatever they say, you know. But yeah, the main part, I guess, you know, I think you can't even see this complex geometry that I made in the final scene, because like I said, it's so dark. But you know, it looks kind of cool, you know, with the lamps. I think the lamps were the most important part because they are the ones that are actually seen in the end. Alright, we're back. Blender crashed. It didn't like that I went into rendered mode. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to pull this up, like the actual finished render, and edit. And basically, yeah, like I said, like only the taillights can be seen here pretty much of the back. And then you can see some geometry, like it doesn't look great, like, but it's fine, you know? It's the vibe. Nobody's going to zoom in on the car. Well, I'm doing that right now. And maybe you do that as well, but yeah. And those are all the elements. As for the texturing, pretty much all the textures are from ambient CG. This is all you need, man. This guy who made this website, he's the GOAT, you know, Leonard. And he just gives away this stuff for free, and you can use it however you want. There's a lot of good stuff here. You know, you probably know about other sites. There's Polyhaven, it's pretty good as well. But yeah, when texturing, I mainly just use cube projection. That usually works out pretty well. Just select everything, cube projection, and you get this thing. And like this is basically a cube, so it works out. And for this, I think I actually did some unwrapping. Let's look at this. So it has seams on these edges to like cut out those parts, all the round parts. And then you get a cylinder here, which you have to cut here so that you can it can unwrap. And basically it looks like this. It's a bit stretched, which might be because I didn't apply the subdivision modifier, but it's not really visible. You never get that close to it anyway. And I've used 1K textures, I'm pretty sure. And that's because when I used 2K textures, everything crashed. But that's a tip, I guess, if you have not a great computer, which I don't. Blender crashes sometimes when you try to render, and then, you know, downgrading to 1K textures can help. That's one issue that can happen. Yeah, and then for the lighting, it's just a lamp, you know, it's just one lamp. A spotlight that goes down like that. Let's try to pull up the render view one more time, see what happens. Okay, I give up. It doesn't want to show the rendered view, but yeah, it's one lamp, one spotlight. It's at 1 megawatt, so 1 million watts. It's pretty big actually. It's almost 10 meters in radius. And another important part is the volumetric cube here. It's a cube around the scene. You add a cube, make it big. Then for, you know, for ease, go into viewport display, or to make it not be in the way, not solid, you want wire or bounce, doesn't matter. And then you want a material, not the principled BSDF, but either volume scattered or principled volume. A friend told me that this is better. I don't really know why, but I usually go for 0.01 and 0.7, and that's how you get this kind of lighting. It's like supposed to simulate dust or like fumes, I'm pretty sure. So the light shines through it, and it like, yeah, it looks cool, basically. And that's it for lighting, pretty much. You know, there's some lights on the car, of course, but that's just an emission texture, and that's it. Yeah. So thanks for watching, I guess. I hope you maybe learned something. And I hope you have a great day. Just keep blendering, I guess. Keep doing that Blender stuff. And have fun. Bye, bye, bye.